The glue that held ODM together is no longer there.
Tukivaa hizi rangi zina maana fulani. Watu wakiona ODM wanafikiria nini? Sisi ndio chama cha kupigania haki. Sisi ndio chama cha kusimamia ukweli. Sisi ndio chama cha wananchi, na hatuwezi kubanduka katika hizo nafasi.
Na hatuna mchezo. ODM si chama kilichozaliwa kama siri. Nasikia kuna wengine ambao wanatembea nasi mchana, lakini usiku wanajaribu kuuza hii chama. Haiwezekani. ODM was not born in a bedroom. It was not made in a bedroom. So its future will not be discussed as pillow talk. It has been the heartbeat of the Kenyan people for 20 years. ODM was born from protest. It was raised in resistance. And the people of ODM have time and time again bled, sweat, and shed tears for this country called Kenya.
I am a founding member of ODM. And I must also say here today, I defended my party kwa damu, kwa nguvu, kwa hali, kwa mali, kama ni noma noma, kama ni mbaya mbaya. It must be known here today, ODM is what it is because some of us tulijitolea kama.
Hello and welcome back to the Hopkins Experience, a channel that gives you unbiased political analysis and honest personal opinions. Now on this video today, as we can see, we'll be talking about ODM and what ODM is evolving to after the death of Raila Amolo Odinga. The ODM at 20 celebrations was arguably the first major celebrations or major event that ODM held in absence of Raila Amolo Odinga. They were holding their 20th anniversary in Mombasa to celebrate the party's existence in 20 years. This event was supposed to be graced by Raila Amolo Odinga in the plans that they were there in the past. But as things would unfold, Raila is no longer here. He is dead. May his soul keep resting in peace. But this was the first major event that we've seen Oburu take charge of. Oburu Odinga, the brother to Raila, take charge of the party, and is his first event as the party leader that can be gauged to see how the kind of leadership he brings to the party, the kind of future that ODM has in the hands of Oburu Odinga. So of course it's been a month that we have laid Raila Amolo Odinga, and during the burial of Raila, that was the first time Oburu Odinga was appointed as the interim party leader, and he has continued to serve in that position up to now. And this event in Mombasa really opened a lot of eyes, a lot of things to ODM, and those are the things that will form the basis for discussion in this video. So if you have watched up to this time and you like this kind of content, this kind of analysis, I would urge you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I've been doing this political analysis for quite some time, and I plan to do it for in the near future as we go to 2027. Now, if you are keen and you are watching the events at Mombasa, you will see that there were two camps, two distinct camps that were there in that event. There was one camp. According to my analysis, there were two camps, and one was pro Ruto, and the other one is against Ruto. And the death of Raila means that there's a leadership vacuum, and ODM is in that stage where they're trying to look for somebody who will fill in at that position. Raila's position is a difficult position to fill. That's why you can see there are a lot of fracas, a lot of push and pull, trying to get the party into direction. You could have seen that the camps, the pro-Ruto camp, there's a camp that is in government, mostly those who have been appointed into these positions of power, cabinet secretaries, PSs, and other positions, all who were taken from ODM to be included in the broad-based government. And I'm very sure that at this point they are happy with the spoils that they are getting from the government, and that's why you can see the praise that was coming from Joe, the praise that was coming from Mbadi, the praise that was coming from Wanga, and all the pro government brigade, the pro Ruto brigade that was there. They are there because of the spoils. You can see this is not the position that they have been holding over the years. We've known ODM as being the opposition party and not being strongly opposed to Ruto's regime. But here we could see very different camps coming in. The anti-Ruto camp, that we can say the one-term camp, that is really ready to take on Ruto, including Sifuna, including Babu Owino, including James Orengo, and all those that are anti-Ruto, that are anti-government. They are on the one-term camp. They have been doing so with the hopes that they want to field a candidate in 2027. They want to have an ODM that is not infiltrated by the president or by the UDA government. And in the same breath, we have been seeing Winnie Odinga emerging strongly, coming into the party as one of the people who can be considered for leadership in future. Winnie Odinga, of course, is the daughter to Raila Amolo Odinga, and she has been flaunted as the torchbearer, the one who will come in to replace or to occupy that position of leadership in ODM. Of course, the brother also, Raila Jr., has been also been proposed to be among those who will be taking the leadership of the party in future, or being critical in running the affairs of ODM. And Winnie made a speech in that rally. I also think it's one of his first major rallies where he has taken a center stage. She was there talking about the future of ODM, what she thinks ODM should be, and what she thinks her father wanted ODM to look like as they move in future. And she made some bold statements. One of the statements that Winnie made is that there are people inside the party, people who purport to be working for the party during the day, but at night they put the party up for sale. And I think it was one of those targeted messages. When she was speaking this, she was targeting someone who is taking over, so somebody who's mismanaging the relationship between the UDA and ODM, the relationship between Ruto and the ODM party. Because at that time also, she also said that there are very few people who know the management of the relationship between Ruto and ODM, because ODM or Raila died while he was working with the government, was working with Ruto. And we all know that Ruto is very smart when it comes to Kenyan politics. And there's only one person who could move in and manage this relationship much better. Those who are managing that relationship right now are already in government, are already 100% inside the government. So they are likely to favor the government side, they're likely to favor Ruto. So they're likely to enter into a deal that would undercut ODM but favor UDA. So that's why Winnie was very skeptical, was not satisfied with that relationship, and she expressed her dissatisfaction publicly in that rally. And I would give Winnie Odinga a very good 7 out of 10 performance in that rally. She was very bold. She came out very confident, and she took the bulls by its horns, being at the front page, being at somewhere close to power. Of course, she doesn't have a position there. She associates with the party solely because his father or his family or her family owns or has a very huge investment into ODM. So it means she is part of ODM by association. She has been associated neatly or intertwined into ODM by birth. She has been born into ODM. She has followed his father's footsteps. So automatically it makes her it makes her a key figure in ODM. So as you can see, this is one of the things that Oburu is dealing with. These are the quagmires, the uncomfortable period that Oburu is in, trying to balance these two camps, bringing harmony in ODM as they move into 2027. It will be difficult for him, of course, because ODM has never known any other leader. ODM has only known Raila Amolo Odinga as their only leader. They have only known him. So it's actually strange for ODM to be in that position where its leader, the person who was the face of ODM, is no longer there. And there are big shoes to fill by Oburu Odinga as he comes in, as he's settling into his seat. It's a very tough job because running ODM is not a walk in the park. It's a party that allows everybody to express themselves, but ultimately it takes the party leader and the leadership organs of the party to steer the ship steady as they go into this turbulence. So for these days that I think it was 2 or 3 days that the ODM party was having its celebration in Mombasa, it has revealed clearly to Kenyans the position of the party. It has revealed to Kenyans the way forward of the party. The party still has these camps, still has divergent opinions, still has people who wants to work with the government and Ruto, and people who wants to get out of the government as soon as possible. Of course, there's a consensus now that the party will work with UDA until 2027. I think that's the position that most of ODM leaders want. I'm very sure that the followers of ODM have a very different opinion based on the fact that the popularity of the president is going down, his performance is going down, and having the president as part of the UDA is actually a liability to UDA. Having the president be part of ODM becomes a liability to ODM. The president comes in to drag ODM into the mud because, as we all know, the president is very unpopular. Most Kenyans are frustrated by the operation of the government and the president. So, if ODM continues its relationship with the government, if ODM continues to relate this broad-based arrangement, then ODM will have to take some or all the faults that this government and faults in healthcare, faults in education, faults in infrastructure, faults in corruption. All this will be part of the baggage that ODM has if ODM remains in this government. And it's the same mistake that ODM made in 2022. ODM, in 2017, Raila and Uhuru came together, and Raila put ODM inside the government. And when it comes to 2022, all the flaws, all the problems that Uhuru had caused in his government, all of them were laid to Raila and his candidature in 2022. And one of the contributing factors that made Raila to lose was his association with the government of the day, association with Raila, with Uhuru Kenyatta, that led him to part ways. Yeah, led him to lose the election, not part ways. Made Raila to lose an election in 2022, which looked like a very clear win for him. But his association with Uhuru really cost him, especially in the votes in Mount Kenya. So when they bring in Ruto now, it means the party gets tainted even further, from uh, from its agenda, from its democratic processes. It gets swallowed. And we've also seen somebody like Orengo come in very strongly and urge ODM to cut this relationship with Ruto. They have tried as much as they can to push for ODM to get out of this relationship. But there is a camp including Joho, including Badi, including Opio Andai, including Sam Atandi, who are hell-bent to hanging into Ruto's government. They believe that they have a better chance of winning an election when they're in government, and they have this belief that the president is going to secure a second term in power in 2022. So as ODM comes, these are only opinions and views of ODM leaders inside ODM. It's a make or break thing for them. It's one of those discussions that I'm seeing them causing a split in the middle, between these two camps. We might have two ODMs as we go into 2027. So the biggest challenge to Oburu Odinga will be to find a way that these two camps can coexist as they work together to 2027, to ensure that there's unity, the unity that they can get. How the anti-Ruto and pro-Ruto government camps can be converged together and ensure that the unity of ODM is not compromised, that ODM sticks together neatly. It's something that Raila did very easily. We don't know about Oburu Odinga as he settles in his position. He might have that quality. He might have borrowed a leaf from his brother, but of course he doesn't have the similar power and influence that his brother had. So as he moves ODM towards 2027, how is he going to put ODM together as it is before even attracting other candidates or other parties, other individuals, or attracting a new constituent in them? How is Oburu going to find his time, find the expertise to make sure there is a glue? It becomes the glue that holds ODM together. How that is the one of the leadership qualities or the biggest challenges in the leadership of ODM now, yeah, as ODM tries to move in 2027. Of course, there's the talk of fielding a new candidate, the talk of staying in government, the talk of life after Raila, and trying to find a person who will take charge of the party. There's a lot, and the time is too short. We only have around 1 year, 7 months to 2027. So it's a race against time. It's a balancing act between the camps. That will be the main role of Oburu as he settles in. Of course, it's the entire ODM. We wish them the best as they celebrate their 20th anniversary. But they have to figure out how to move on and how to be among the winning camp in 2027. How to still attract people based on their values and ideals that Raila left. It's going to be a very big task. Of course, I'll be here watching how these things unfold, how Oburu manages ODM, how ODM will try to overcome and navigate its attachment with Ruto. Thank you so much for watching up to this time. If you've really enjoyed, I'd like to get your feedback in the comment sections. If you like the video, actually give it a like and a thumbs up. And we'll meet in the next video. Thank you for tuning in.